Who wants some Castlevania? Well, doesn't really matter whether or not you want it, you're just gonna get it now. That's what I felt like playing right now. And the idea is I want to start a series about kind of nostalgia. And yeah, I'm too lazy to enter my name. Screw this. A series where I revisit games that I used to play in my youth. You know, in the glorious good old days when games were actually released in a finished state.
Does anyone remember that? Good old times.
Before all this frickin' beta and alpha and early access and just buggy release for which developers charge full price garbage. Before all of that started. Remember those times? Yeah, I know. The cost of development have increased, blah blah blah, whatever. But it's still very annoying. That and also all the microtransaction shit. I mean, at the time when this was released, if you had suggested the idea of buying virtual items with real money, you would have just been laughed out of the room. Most likely. Well, a few game developers would probably have gone all evil corporate genius slash villain. It's going, tell me more about this ingenious ripoff. But yeah, otherwise not so much. And I remember I actually rented this game here, Castlevania Chronicles, once. Had it for a weekend on the PS1, and from what I remember, I was disappointed by it. But at this point, I'm guessing that was simply because of, you know, unreasonably high expectations, I guess. Because that was after I played, I think, well, at the very least, Super Castlevania 4, but I think also Symphony of the Night. So that is some really, really stressful competition, so to speak, for this game. If you want to compare it to that, that's quite a different league, so to speak. And not quite fair to compare that. And by the way, I know that in this version there are things in the wall that I do not want, so I'm not gonna mess with that. Instead of the tasty meat. Okay. But yeah, I think this was really just because I was expecting something like Super Castlevania 4 or Symphony of the Night, and that, you know, if you have such expectations, this game can't deliver. But I mean, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be at that level in order to be good. It doesn't have to be ass-kickingly awesome. Yeah, I'm maybe a little biased with regards to those two Castlevanias, but they are just, you know, the true spirit of Castlevania. Well, the two different spirits of Castlevania, because obviously Castlevania 4 and Symphony of the Night are quite different. Ah, damn it. That could have worked out so well. In this one here, he is at least able to do diagonal whip strikes while in the air. At least, you know, downward diagonal and straight down. Which is still a disappointment compared to Castlevania 4, where he could whip in all directions and had, you know, true mastery of the whip. At least I think this is Simon Belmont 2. I didn't really pay too much attention, but I think it is. Just like in 4. If it is, then he really got lazy with his whip training. He used to be much better with it. But oh well, at least he's still better than Richter and pretty much every other Belmont who are only capable of whipping straight ahead, which is rather weak compared to Simon in the 4th. Yeah, and this bat here is... Wow! I was going to say, this bat here is really easy, and then I get hit right after it's dead. Is it just me? No, I know it's not just me. It's always this thing, you want to catch the orb as you're doing some fancy move. I've seen that quite a lot of times. It seems to be similar to cats and cardboard boxes. You know, whenever a cat sees a cardboard box, it has the irresistible urge to sit in it. And I've seen that with Castlevania players too. There is the irresistible urge to try to strike some kind of pose as you're catching the orb. And I completely failed this time. But yeah, it's a thing, apparently, for whatever reason. And now I'm off to fight Flappy Bone Dragon, apparently. So let's trot off with the Belmont Shuffle. Their very energetic looking way of strolling about. Yeah, not that energetic, not really. But, oh well. I guess if you just keep fighting Dracula over and over and over again, it's very difficult to stay motivated and enthusiastic about your job, I would think. But that's kind of a strange thing anyway. Always this dynamic. He always keeps returning and returning and returning, and they just keep going at it, and nobody figures out any better way of dealing with that. It's just, oh, there he is again, let's whip him again. And he's like, I am back! And trying to do things which always fail. Which, it's unfortunate, because depending on the Castlevania, Dracula can be a pretty interesting character, really. Yes, even despite the atrocious voice acting in Symphony of the Night. But it's so bad, it's good. That kind of bad, you know? Made it kind of cult classic in terms of bad voice acting. But why do I struggle so much with this one frickin' bat? Yeah, it's because I'm impatient, that's why. Because I can't jump. I remember having seen a review back in the day of a... I think it was a game on a Jaguar, which was a basketball game, which was called White Men Can't Jump. And apparently this is true in Castlevania, at least for me. Oh well. You would think with his super massive bodybuilder thighs, he would leap like a jaguar. But, well, apparently not. I mean, to be fair, he does jump superhumanly high, obviously. But by platformer standard, not necessarily that high. He isn't all that high, you know, compared to Mario. He's much more high. Okay, that was lame. I would freely admit that. Anyway. Flappy things in the background. They will probably assault me at some point. Yes, and there they are. But they didn't put a lot of effort into it. The bats are actually more persistent. I don't know why that is. I'm wondering if Balmonts just use some kind of aftershave that has bat pheromones in it accidentally. I don't know. Oh, either that or Batman has trolled them and just put one of his bat beacons on them stealthily. And they just keep wondering, why are all the bats in the area always flapping at us? I also really don't know why the bats always keep killing themselves on you. It's just suicide bomber bats. That was not very tasteful, I know, but I'm not here to be particularly tasteful. That's not my job. My job is to whip some ass in this particular game. Uh-oh. I remember this passage, and I remember I utterly despise it. Do I actually have to... Yeah, I did. I didn't remember that I actually had to whip that sucker. If I remember correctly, as long as I stay in the center of this thing, I'm safe. Well, relatively. Just lots of merman fans, groupies to deal with. And now the hectic part starts. No, not quite yet actually. But now it starts. I have to frantically scramble up here and make sure I don't get left behind. There we go. That's how it's done. Well, you could have probably done it faster or whatever, but I don't care. I made it. In one piece. That's what counts. Alright. Let's see if I stay far enough away from him, he may not be able to do too much. I'm so glad that he just jumps straight up when he's hit and is not getting pushed to the side. That would be absolutely frustrating here. Now come on. Alright. Better than nothing. I know, it's completely irrelevant, but for some reason you're compelled to do that. Alrighty. What's next? Racking up score. Who cares about score? Yeah, I know some people do, but I never did. And next is sleeve waving mage thing. Alrighty then. Bring it. Wait, there was something here, wasn't there? Yep, there we go. Creepy tree thing. I don't even know what the hell how to describe that. Ugh, that's gross. Those things are definitely gross. Ah, ew. Okay. Ah, no. Dung homunculi. Yeah, that's what I call them. Because they have this certain certain fecal texture to them and color, and they are very annoying. So to me, they are dung homunculi. You could also call them shit golems, if you so desire. As long as you deal with them right away, they are not too bad, but if they accumulate, then it's getting crappy. So far, I'm doing fairly okay. I don't know if they actually harm me, because it's just water, but it's Castlevania. Things just... If you touch them, they are causing a very aggressive rash, or whatever the heck happens. Undesirable effects of some generic variety. Oh! Why would you do this? I'm not very pleased by ball statues shooting what appears to be javelins at me, because they are pretty long and don't seem to have any fletching, so not really arrows. At least it doesn't look like it to me. Whoa! I was so focused on those arrows that Mr. Free Ball statue kept shooting at me. Okay, and now mud, because why not? And froggies. Oh, you slimy piece of garbage. And Raven, I know you're gonna fly at me. And you have to come at my toes, of course. I was killed by a frog. How humiliating. Then again, if it's a poisonous frog, then some of them can be pretty potent. Don't try to lick them. Okay. Jiggly mud boobies. Wow, this is rather distracting, I have to say. What the hell? What were they thinking when they designed those? They were probably thinking something like, hey, let's give the poor gamers a bit of eye candy. Everybody needs to watch some jiggly mud boobies. That is somewhat bizarre, I have to say. Not necessarily in an unpleasant way, but somewhat bizarre. Anyway. Well, they were certainly being creative with their character design here. Oh, I remember this. This sucks. Alright, and can I make it? Can I make it? Yes, I can! Hello there, frozen Princess Peach. At least that's what she looks like to me. Oh! No. Alrighty. There we go. Give me some stuff. How the hell am I supposed to reach that? Oh, that way. Makes sense. Huh? Okay, I apparently completely overlooked that. Okay. Bones. Oh, damn it. And over there we have a classic Nosferatu in the background. No, just frozen. Perfectly preserved. Nothing to be done about it. And I should have taken... Nah, never mind. Yes. I should have taken the low route because, well... Stuff. Candles. Oh, there we go. That's the right kind of weapon. The boomerang. At least I call it a cross boomerang. It's probably supposed to be an actual cross, but then again, it's a bit too symmetrical for that, isn't it? To me, that's a plus-shaped boomerang. Because there are boomerangs like that, which presumably do work. I've never tried one of those, but... And boss time. You can always tell by how it's set up here with flat ground for a bit. There you are. Okay, yes, this does not work too well. Come on. Can't you get back to your study room and just ponder some ancient tome instead of bothering me here? There you go. That's what you get for leaving your library, nerd. Magical bookworm.
Fresh air.
Well, could you call a major scientist? Well, yeah, I guess to an extent. That kind of studious arcanist, whatever you want to call that. The type who doesn't do magic intuitively, but by studying, you know, fancy gestures and incantations and all the other stuff that makes you look very skilled and knowledgeable and elaborate and terribly geeky. Anyway, Jiggly Medusa thing is next.
Jiggly is there in this game?
Well, I don't know if she's really jiggly, but just kind of, you know, twitchy animation stuff, you know, moving pictures, that kind of thing. I'm really struggling with this one, Wall Bone Dragon. So, yeah, I think we should leave it at this. Because I don't want to get too sucky here right now. and I might continue this at some point, or I might just play something else. We'll see. So for now, thanks for making it through this, if you did, and obviously, since you're hearing this, you did. So, yeah. See ya.